Coombe, Part 7. Coombe needed to find Prakash to find out he'd been caught up in this mass poisoning. Coombe rushed to the back of the plane as quickly as his little legs would take him. Coombe had always had short legs. It made playing snooker one of his favourite pastimes, that little bit more difficult. 15 minutes later, and Coombe had trundled to the back of the plane, where he found Prakash's seat empty. Confused, Coombe suddenly heard the flushing of a toilet, and out bounded Prakash towards Coombe. "Bally terrible, all of this business. Dead passengers everywhere." "How did you survive?" Coombe asked. "I'm vegan," Prakash replied. Bloody Ada, Coombe thought. A vegan. Coombe was surprised it had taken Prakash this long to tell him. Suddenly the plane lurched sickeningly. "We need to find out what, if anything, has happened to the pilots." Another 15 minutes and they were stood at the door to the cockpit. "I say, chaps, would you mind letting us in?" Prakash shouted. It was no use. There was no reply. Coombe slid his walking stick into a gap between the door and the frame, and using it as a gem he forced the door open. Inside sat the pilots, slumped over their chairs, half-eaten chicken on their laps. "Mr. Coombe, it looks as though we may have to land her ourselves." "It's just Coombe," Coombe replied, looking around at the myriad dials and instruments. They were all just too far away or too close for his damn varifocals. He picked up the radio and asked for assistance. A voice replied, asking who they were and what the hell had happened. Coombe explained. "And so are we going to have to fly this thing ourselves?" "No," the voice on the radio answered. "The autopilot will bring you down safely." Coombe breathed a sigh of relief. He'd never piloted something so big and didn't trust his vegan friend to be of any help. Coombe found a pack of cards and a couple of bags of peanuts in the duty-free selection on the hostess trolley, and they both bedded in for the next 3 hours playing gin rummy and chase the ace. When the time came to land, they returned to their seats and awaited touchdown, Coombe ruminating darkly that there would be no rush for the exit from his fellow passengers. An automated fanfare played once they landed, and Coombe made his way to the door. Pushing it open, Coombe was confronted by at least 10 policemen, all holding guns pointed in Coombe's direction. Bloody Ada, Coombe thought. This would take some explaining. Coombe will return in Coombe Part 8. Chit Chat.